Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Great is off today, so I'm the MC photo. I'm filling in. As you can see, we have a couple of red cameras here, and we will shoot a little bit more interesting music videos today. Today we are blessed to have Ruben with us, who is the music producer and the recording studio, right?
Yes.
Let's hear what he does and how he became who he is and where he started.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Great would never shake your hand. Mr. Great would do the elbow. But MC photo is a different story.
How about the Trump one? The Trump, what would he say? Would he say like?
Well, in the Trump world, he meets millions of people, right? So he's afraid of getting germs, so his business will suffer if he gets sick. Yes, and his son is actually having some, I believe, issues with the allergies, so he doesn't want to bring any germs home. So that's the reason people think he's a jerk by not shaking people's hand, but actually it's a business decision to stay away, have some distance, and not if he gets sick for a couple of weeks, his business is so much depend on him, his business will suffer, and he cares for his family. So it's a very business. He doesn't have time to explain why he does that thing. People think he doesn't shake hands. It's a jerk.
No, I
there is a logic behind this.
But I thought if Trump was here, he wouldn't speak to me because him and Puerto Ricans don't get along.
Well, I think he has quite a bit of energy in him. Maybe nowadays, when we have that disaster there, maybe he will listen and do something about it.
To each its own, So, it's great to be on this show. I haven't been on.
Do you think Puerto Ricans would not vote for him?
They probably will. They probably will vote.
He reach out to folks. He gets that way of getting to them. So I think he was really big in Puerto Rican community.
He's a businessman at the end of the day, and if he's creating ratings by doing what he's doing the right job on a marketing sense.
But Puerto Rican community, Russian community, love him. The Brighton Beach is very much into the Trump. But
Bay Ridge, Brighton Beach, all those areas.
Young folks, the Democrat, the new generation that came, no way, absolutely.
Well, the music business doesn't like him.
Music business doesn't like him.
We don't like him at all. At all.
So he's not popular.
He's not popular with any major label right now because of the tax brackets. He's not popular with any artist because what he's trying to do on get money in the United States when we have euro currency. It's a lot of different things going on in the music business that Trump is trying to sabotage because it's mostly ran by a minority. He's been
in so many years in The Apprentice and all those shows. It didn't teach him anything about the art and the music, the entertainment industry.
He got fired from his own apprentice. I mean, it doesn't.
Okay.
You put two and two together. He was never supposed to be in entertainment. Politics and entertainment mix very rarely, mostly for campaigns. So in his sense, I would say as a president, you have to look at both sides as far as for the people and also for your family and for the way you opinionate yourself on world issues. But I think he's too blunt and too bold. I respect him as a businessman, though.
Okay.
Definite.
But in advertising, it's important to love me or hate me. Do not be indifferent. He goes after the market that he wants to be every day in the media, right? The music, it's also he disrupts the regular way of doing things. Isn't that what music does?
Well, the music structure works like this. Me, I create API. It's application platform integration. I write 47 languages on coding to make artists' web pages and stuff. I deal with many major artists, Cardi B, Young M.A., Fresha, Troy Ave, Casanova, Manolo Rose, Designer. The list goes on, 84 major artists. But they all need syndication. Syndication is a process to where you take content and you put it all around the world. So there's not that many companies that do what I do because I'm a coder and developer, and I also produce and engineer and do creative direction and do A&R management, a lot of different things. I'm coming out with a magazine next week I have Hip Hop Road to Riches on Revolt TV, which is 363, I believe, or 393 on Thursdays.
Do you have a staff? How you met?
Staff. That's a good thing. Like a lot of people, they say staff, and nowadays in the virtual environment, you don't need staff.
You can do.
You could be independent, and you could be self-bought to where you actually process all
Trump,
applications.
He runs his Twitter by himself. He doesn't run the.
Trump does not run Twitter by himself.
His own account.
Trump has somebody who actually he has a team, a creative, what is called a think tank team. A think tank team, what they do is make sure any type of statement that's going out gets some type of negative or positive review to cause
point
ratings.
Was perhaps he might have smaller crew members than, let's say, when the Hillary run, she had a bigger crew, and she still lost, even though she had so much talent in her team.
Well, it really wasn't about the crew. You see, like in media and marketing, music is more like politics. It runs the same way.
I think the other way, the politics is more like music.
I would say music is like politics, because in music, the politics is to where even the most noticeable artist that you could actually name and stuff like that still has a boss that they have to answer to. In politics, there's that certain limit to where, they might be puppets, but they actually are the last face that you're going to see. You won't see anything beyond that of who's really making the decisions in our government.
So you think if a musician, there is always someone behind the musician who makes a decision, or the musician is the last person? Let's say Michael Jackson, Madonna, or Lady Gaga. Those folks actually making their decisions, right?
You would say that because of the media and what you're seeing through media, but how many people are actually checking the media? You understand?
I'm not talking about media. I'm talking about the real world. Do they just exactly do what they've been advised, and someone builds them, or it's at the end of the day that's their own personality that's coming out?
Any major artist that basically has that type of level, Lady Gaga, Madonna, or anyone that you just named, they have a team behind them, a publicist, a creative director, somebody who basically tells them about different type of elegances and everything like that.
Is that this person who is on screen, the actor, the musician, or is someone else who behind the scene?
I would say somebody else behind them is behind the scene. You understand? Because there's a lot of people that don't want to be seen. I was one of those that didn't want to be seen at all. What would be the reason
for that?
For me, my reason was being on federal parole, for 2 years and stuff like that. I was still in the music business, but I didn't want to put my face out there because, a lot of people be like, oh, well, he's in clubs and not supposed to be in clubs when you're on federal parole because of the liquor, different things. Like a lot of the artists I deal with mostly hip hop. A lot of these artists, they have violent felonies and stuff. I wasn't supposed to be around them. 2 years I had to stay under the table and basically put cloth over me and do all this work. And then when that 2 years came up,
let's stay within legit conversation. So okay, so why do you think there is so much gangster and the illegal activities around the musicians?
In actuality, there's no illegal activities behind these musicians. The musicians are saying a story. They're pitching a story. They might be pitching it from their own life before they actually became a musician, or they might be pitching one of their friends' story. But as far as gangsters and stuff like that in the industry, if an artist is putting themselves out there...
Why it's so appealing?
Why is it appealing? Why is Scarface so appealing? Why is everything on the news so appealing that everybody wants to hear bad news every day? It's ratings, money, marketing, advertisement, sponsorship, endorsements. Okay. It's not going to change.
Do you have any fun story from your recent career?
Okay, so yeah.
For the audience.
The best story ever was, okay, so when I was younger, the first job I ever had was Murder Inc. Irv Gotti, and it was hell for me. I got in. First day I'm there, I'm being made fun of because I'm the intern, mop up a little, clean up the bathrooms. Okay, second, third day goes and stuff, same thing. Fourth day goes, and an engineer that I know came into the studio, and he told me something, and I got kind of upset, so it was a bad time at that day. Then Irv comes and says, yo, excuse me, you, go get me a coffee. I said, okay, I'll go get you the coffee. to this day, I never went back. That was pretty funny.
Okay, that's okay. I would ask you next one.
We've seen each other though after that, and you know he noticed me and everything like that. He congratulated me on the achievements I have. You know, so it pays to actually see somebody like that humble themselves when they see somebody get to that same level without using their help. You know, I appreciated everything I learned from Murder Inc. as far as marketing and advertisement, because they actually taught me a lot there too.
I see. So. Is there any sad story? What's happened to you?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people don't know this. What got me into music was the death of my sister. You know, she was actually murdered by her manager. She was sliced in pieces, put in a bag, and hung up on a gate in Queens. Wow. You know, I was only 12, probably 11, 12 years old, but it hit me hard because, you know, I was an altar boy at the time. I lost religion, I lost faith, I lost belief in anything. I became an idiot in school, you understand? I started, you know, gangbanging, doing crazy things. You know, I have no focus on my life whatsoever. You know, got caught for something, and you know, my uncle helped me out. But my sister's death, it molded me to be a better person because I got to learn everything about the music industry. I became OCD on learning about contracts at 12 years old. Contracts, different type of labels, what agreements mean, what a manager is supposed to do, what A&R is supposed to do, what a label representative is supposed to do, how a writer contract is, everything. I learned everything within that time. And after that, like a lot of the labels that knew what happened, they just took me under the wing and said I could be a consultant. And from young, like 16, 17 years old, I've been consulting every type of music artist, different type of independent labels, major labels, everything.
So I understand it's been personal for you, and it's a question of life and death, and you took it very to your close to your heart. But what justifies, let's say, you made it, right? You have some credibility behind you. For the folks who are out there, how do they know who is the right producer, who is the right one to go, who is not? What numbers do you look at? You
see, when people are actually searching in media and music or entertainment, any business, fashion, clothing, anything, they're actually gonna get one sheet.